Hey guys, it's Mitch. How's it going? We're back for another spooky season special, and it's another newer one. I do have a couple of newer comics, although almost all of them are in trade paperback format. This is 2019, Something is Killing the Children, which is a pretty great title. I won't lie. That's probably most of the reason I picked this up in the first place. This was during that time that I was trying to find all sorts of new comics that I hadn't heard anything about. I was looking at lists and going, okay, what's good these days? And this popped up on a couple. And this is one of the ones that actually surprised me in that, yeah, I thought it was pretty good, and I actually bought a few volumes of it. You don't see that happen every day. So I don't know any of the creators on this. This is written by James Tynion IV, which seems like an excessive amount of James Tynions. I do recognize the name, so I think he's reasonably prolific. And Werther Dell'Edera, I've again never heard of him, and that seems like a weird place to put an apostrophe. Are you trying to be different there or something, buddy? Actually, judging from the art in this, yeah, maybe he is. But yeah, this is a pretty simple story. This is about a small town where kids start dying off, and a secret society assassin shows up to save the day. That's the gist of it. It seems like the kind of thing that's designed to be a Netflix series. And I know that the rights have been sold. There have been talks for the last, 5 years about trying to develop that series. As far as I can tell in the news, they haven't gotten anywhere just yet, but I imagine they will. Like I said, this seems just primed to do well on that sort of thing. So, let's check it out. So, the way we start out is at a sleepover. Bunch of dudes at a sleepover. One of the dudes is the dorky dude, and he's getting teased by his buddies, which makes you wonder why he was there. Actually, come to think of it, I was at a sleepover too like that. So anyway, they're playing Truth or Dare, which I don't think dudes play at sleepovers, but I don't know, maybe times have changed. And someone says truth, and the question is, what's the most scared you've ever been? And he tells them about, actually the other night, just last week, I went out and I heard some noise. I was the only one home. I went and took a look around, and I saw this thing that was standing by a tree, and it's this huge monster. And I ran back inside, and the other guys take a moment, and they're just like, fuck you. Which I like, again, realistic. And they're calling him out, saying he's just making shit up. And he's like, fine then. My turn. I choose Dare. And he's going to dare one of the kids to go out and check up on him. And kind of a clever little switch here now, where he's at a police station having to tell a police officer about why his friends got torn to pieces. And he was the only one left. And then the big title shot, which again, seems primed for a Netflix series. I don't mind it too much, though. It's reasonably evocative. And this is the introduction of our secret society assassin. This is Erica Slaughter. Good name. I got no notes, really. I like the name. Just coming back from a hunt. And she's going to get a message that she has to go and respond to a distress call that's come up in that town that we were just visiting with the dorky little kid. So, anyway, eventually, we get more of this kid's day-to-day. It's a bit of a slow build. That's fine, I guess. At least in trade paperback form. I don't know if I'd be wanting to read this in single issue format, to be honest. Depends how expensive the issues are, I suppose. But Erica eventually finds the dorky kid. His name is James, apparently. I guess maybe he's James Tynion V. And James is going to fill her in on what happened that night when the other kids went down to the ravine and the other kids all got fucking gutted. And they are going to show it. It's reasonably bloody. I mean, the art isn't super realistic. It's not trying to be. It's almost got more of like an impressionistic feel to it, really. But that works actually from the perspective of a kid who would look at a situation more emotionally, particularly a situation that was, scarring and terrifying. And they don't shy away from gutting the kids. That's kind of one of the big things. So if that's where the first issue ends, yeah, maybe I would have bought the second issue, actually, because they do get the scene in there where the kids all get torn to pieces. Yeah, you kind of want to see where that goes from there. But yeah, that's kind of the bit that helps to push it over the edge for me, is the fact that they've got no problem with tearing kids apart in this. Not that that's a good thing in a comic, I suppose. I should say that for the record. But you want to set up your super scary monster. And I mean, the title of your book is Something is Killing the Children. You don't want to dance around it. So instead of that, yeah, they just fly right at it and go, here's some kids getting just mauled. And I can't help but just kind of stand back and go, okay, good job. Golf clap. So the deal with the monsters in this is that only kids can see them. We can actually see that illustrated here because this is one of the grown-ups here. Once you pass a certain age, you can no longer see the monsters unless you have been altered by the secret society that Erica Slaughter is a part of. Which adds, a nice little twist, actually. It gets that whole thing where the kid is telling their adults, the parents, no, it's real, I swear. And the adults can't possibly see it. Which, maybe isn't the most original trope for a scary movie kind of thing involving kids. But when you add in the fact that they're, including the bits about the kids being torn apart, and you get bits here and there where kids just, you're seeing it from the adult's perspective, and kids start getting ripped apart, and they can't see the monsters. It just seems to be happening. It's pretty messed up, and it's, you get involved with the characters. Most of them are pretty good. I would say the writing in this is not bad at all. I mean, it was good enough that I bought, I think, 4 or 5 volumes of this before I think I caught up with the most recent one and went, all right, and then I just haven't bought another one since. That's kind of how it goes. What am I going to do? Am I going to buy single issues? I don't think so. So yeah, good writing, good art that, does well with the day-to-day stuff. It's absolutely fine. Not the most exciting stuff, but when it gets to the monster slaying or the monster attacking, much better. His figures have good movement. He picks good angles. Gets the blood flying all over the place. It's not bad at all. And it's got all the extra stuff with the Secret Society, which they go into a whole lot of detail in later in the series. So that's good. You've got a lore you can build off of. And the lore gets established pretty quick, actually. There isn't any groping around trying to figure anything out on the fly, at least as far as I can tell. It's all pretty straightforward and seems to be well established by the time it gets explained. And then you've got your secret society with all your different factions. They've all got different colored masks that they wear. So you can go into detail on what all the peculiarities of each faction is. And I think they have. And I think there's multiple spin-offs of this series now. So it seems like one of the Tinians struck a winner anyway. And, you get a little cover gallery here and everything. There's some nice stuff going on. There's some Jay Lee. Jay Lee's always got good designs, at least. I don't know most of the names anymore. That's okay. Like, who's Ian Bertram? I don't know. Not a bad looking cover, though. Who's Jenny Frison? I don't know. Also okay, though. Marcos Martin, Werther de la Dera. Oh, I do know that name. That's the guy who drew this book. Yeah, and then a little preview for something else. But yeah, that's Something is Killing the Children. It's a pretty good book, actually. There's probably 2 or 3 trades I could theoretically catch up on now. I don't know if I'm going to do that, though. You got to catch back up on all the lore and everything. It's like, that's just exhausting. But this first little storyline with just dealing with the problem in this small town, I think stretches over the first 2 or maybe 3 volumes. And like I said, it's pretty good. It's reasonably self-contained. I can recommend it if you don't mind seeing kids getting ripped apart. It helps that it's got that kind of impressionistic style. So it's not, you're not looking at realistic shots of kids getting torn apart like you would be in Crossed, which we're going to be looking at shortly. So yeah, that one gets a thumbs up from me. Thankfully, most of the ones I own get a thumbs up from me. It's really only Dracula Motherfucker so far that got a big thumbs down, but oh well, that's how it goes. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. I'll keep putting these out until the end of the month or until I run out of horror trades, whichever comes first. So yeah, thanks again. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.